Oh my God, bro. All right. Can you hear me, Jess?
I can hear you.
Can you hear the music?
No,
That's fine. We're live.
but I have my phone. It's not live yet on my phone.
Oh?
Are you going on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. It shows on mine.
Yeah, I still have oh shit, maybe I just need to reset it.
Yeah, YouTube is on. We
Oh,
are
there we
on
go.
Twitch. We
Yeah.
are on Rumble. We are live with a cup of coffee in the big time.
Now I saw it.
We got a couple of us this time. Well, you got me and Jess this time, and we're actually on camera for this right now. We're on a cup of coffee in the big time.
It's Sunday morning.
Fuck. Just fucked that up right there. Whoops.
I got some news.
Got some news, and it's Austin.
Sources say there's a spy.
That's why I'm like this. And it's Austin. I mean, people say it's Austin 316 Day, but I mean, is it really Austin 316 Day, or is that just some made up holiday?
Or is it just a thing that only was the thing when he was Austin 316? I don't know.
I mean, is that really Austin? Oh fuck! I spilled some coffee. God damn it! Oh fuck! I gotta spill.
I didn't send it to you. There was I don't even know how credible these sites are. So when I say I read in some sites, I don't know. But somebody's grinding it into your floor.
I got it out really quick. Yeah. Oh god.
Like this like white carpet, just shoving.
Yeah, it's a light colored coffee. God damn it! It was a drop that went on the floor, but it got on my chair right here. It's all good. I'll get it after.
It was people are saying like that Meltzer reported, or maybe it's one of the things that he posted and took down, that people like Adam Copeland and all those people are spies. Like, you know,
What?
when they knew their WWE contract was going to expire, it was
Wait
like
a-
encouraged that they go to AEW to kind of like, you know, report back and do all this stuff or whatever. And I'm like, people said the same thing about WCW when Hall and Nash went over there. Like, it was like, they gotta be, you know, spies on the inside or whatever. It's so funny that even at 2025, people still believe it and post it and make memes about it, that there are spies on the inside of AEW to tear them down.
Well, Randy Jones was on the scene back when Hulk Hogan went to WCW and Hall and Nash, and I actually have unverified sources that say that the elites were really working to dismantle
That's
professional
what
wrestling.
happened just all this time.
That's what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
And
so
what does that
funny.
even mean? Like, what's the spot? What's the point? Like,
why is Tony
AEW
Khan
doesn't-
letting them then? Why is he
Yeah, they
like
don't-
even if he brought them over, like why is he letting them do the thing that they supposedly think is happening then? Why let
Yeah,
them
and
do
then
that?
plus too, like the on-screen product as far as like the matches aren't the problem. Like it's the just telling of the storyline. So how are they sabotaging that? And then what information would Triple H be getting back? Like, hey, it's Cope. Oh, hey, Adam.
Yeah.
It's Cope. No, I'm calling you Adam. Yeah, what's up, Adam? Okay, fine.
Cope.
Triple H.
Yeah.
He's all, it's Paul now. He's, no, it's Triple H if you don't want to say Cope. He's fine. Fuck
Speak-
Cope. And then he's like, yeah, so this Wednesday, yeah, go on. Give me some information, Spy. We're gonna be doing Dynamite.
There he is.
Oh no, you are? Oh, like, well, what information could Triple H be getting? Like, I know this is all silly. It's not even real, but like,
Well, this is real right here. What I showed you right here.
What? Oh shit! I forgot to tell you, I don't see the screen.
Oh, let me reshare it with you.
I see you and me. I just don't see the.
Let me
I see. Oh, I see it on the live feed on my phone.
Let me reshare it. Oh yeah, I see why it's not showing for you. There you go.
Yeah,
On this day, that's not going to work for me, brother.
it's just brother, stupid fucking
Hogan.
Cope.
It's fucking great.
Cope Hogan.
Yeah, it's great. this.
Yeah, the internet is just as dumb as ever.
It is.
With this stuff. Like, God, just watch AEW or don't watch AEW. And, if I'm looking at the numbers and I'm being fair, a lot of people are not watching AEW. So just don't watch it.
That's
Most people that say that it sucks, like they just hear that it sucks and then they're like, oh man, it's terrible.
I mean, if you have to think about like, I know the Tony Storm and Mariah May, like, what other storyline though? Like what other storyline is? I mean, matches are good, yeah, but like
they're trying to get the goddamn Death Riders over, but that's not working.
And I will say, like, as great as the Tony Storm and Mariah May thing is, and this is on WWE too. It just reminds me of the same stuff. I don't like that they did do a Hollywood ending where it's like the end and once again, like I hate the cinematic stuff. I hate when WWE does the cinematic matches with Bray Wyatt and that Matt Hardy fucking
like
basically.
At the very least, though, they kept everything live. I kind of it's funny you say that.
Yeah,
I kind of felt that way at the end when I saw that. I was like, so they had a graphic ready just in case, like if you're in kayfabe.
Yeah,
they had a graphic ready just in case Tony Storm won.
And that's what I would want the explanation to be, was because since she won, and that's like her like kind of like add insult to injury.
But at least they didn't go in the back.
Yeah, no,
it wasn't like a Hollywood like studio where they're doing scenes or whatever. That would be crazy.
But the way that they're like a Hollywood ending and stuff, I'm like, it's no different than The Rock, like after the greatest heel turn ever, being like, yeah, in the third act, like like if he like I hate that. It's like you just had this Mariah May Tony Storm blood feud, and then you just told me it was fake. Like got it. It does.
I guess it wasn't so like egregious with AEW.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was not.
WWE's the biggest culprit of that because they just think they can get away with it. They don't do it as much under Triple H, but TNA does that a lot too.
And only
TNA really started it. I wonder if they'll do it less because Josh Matthews is gone. Right? They released him.
I believe so.
I remember Josh Matthews was one of the big pushing forces after Dixie left and like the whole company almost went under. He was a big reason as to why Hardy did the delete skits and all that stuff, is because he was just trying to do something different. And then of course during the pandemic, that's all they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kind of never let that go. But if they're going to gravitate to that and make that their identity, at least they're not doing something out of character. Like if they just started, like in a weird way, they sort of like Bruce Pritchard might have even said it on one of his. They encouraged Vince to look at that and go, well, maybe these digital shorts aren't so bad. Like maybe we could do something, even though Vince has always been doing that with the Undertaker shit and everything. It's always kind of been cinema. He's always been doing it. But I think Vince stayed away from the behind, like the actual filmed vignette, like they did at WrestleMania 2020, when we're in the pandemic between Cena and Bray Wyatt. Then I think Vince's eyes opened up to it. And then they did the Boneyard match, which also like kind of started opening Vince's eyes up to it. So in a weird way, I kind of give TNA a little bit of credit for starting that stuff. Like, but I, if I'm not mistaken, that was like a big Josh Matthews thing. Like he really pushed that. And Hardy, and that's where the delete character came from.
Yeah. And I mean, thanks to Matt Hardy, good job, Matt. Thanks for that. Thanks for.
God damn it, Matt. I mean, but anything when it's abused and taken out of context is like, is eye rolling to me. Because God damn it, Matt. Like, if you want to put it in context, that's fine. We all know we're watching a show, but don't like beat me over the head with it. Like, you don't need to beat us over the head with that. We get it. Like, I don't want to be watching wrestling and then go, well, if that was real, he wouldn't get up from it, but he's up.
Yeah.
Which they might as well say that sometimes.
They might as well say that.
Yeah. MJF, Tombstone, Adam Page on a fucking chair on the outside of the ring, and like they both still got back in the ring like within 10 seconds. I'm like, okay. But I mean, all wrestling do it. They all
do. And I blame Matt Hardy for that. I mean, I hate you, Matt Hardy.
We're gonna start blaming Matt Hardy for everything. Just like anything like that has nothing to do with him.
Just like Edge. Now, like with Edge, we're blaming him for people not going, like not
any of the corruption in the AEW locker room is Cope's fault.
Which is so funny though. Like it's funny because like he literally did that on his last run in WWE. I understand why you want to have him have some big marquee wins after he returned when he thought he would get to retire.
Yeah, because you don't want to just like do the Daniel Bryan like way. And Daniel Bryan's trying to be so unselfish in AEW that he went on a thing where he lost like all the time.
Yeah,
and then he would win his big matches. Like when he went over to New Japan, he would like split with Okada or whatever. But I mean, like, there was no stock in Daniel Bryan to me because I was like, look, he is Daniel Bryan, but you can't push that. You can't say, oh, his character in AEW is remember him from WWE. That's basically what they're saying his character is. And I need to know, like, at least Mox is trying. That's why I don't like do a lot of the Death Rider stuff, like end like a fart in church. Yes. Like, but at the same time, I don't fault him for trying. I don't fault him for trying to get like new people on TV. I don't like, I think that's really healthy what Mox is doing. It's just if the company doesn't know, if Tony Khan doesn't get it, and he's just doing it to let Mox do it, it's never going to look good because the company won't know how to get behind it and really produce it and make it something. So all Mox is doing is ranting and raving promos, and then he comes out and will attack someone, or he just chokes him out with the side headlock, and that's all he does. And it's like, well, if the company doesn't get behind him and give him ideas, then that's all he's going to do. Because
exactly.
That's when, as soon as his plane lands and he gets to whatever arena they're in, like he just is like, all right, what are we doing? Well, what do you want to do, Mox? Well, I'll do a weird promo where I'm unhinged, and then I'll go in the ring and we'll attack some people. Okay, all right, sounds good, Mox.
Yeah, and that's what sucks, because I actually, like, to me, the Death Riders was like that. That was the shining little glimmer of hope right there, to where, like, okay, we can build something with this and just have them dominate and decimate everybody. And you are building towards, whether it's Daniel Bryan, which I think that would probably be the best outcome if Bryan Danielson.
It would be the biggest name.
Back. It would be
if that happened, for sure.
It would be a big pop, and you'd have him come back to defeat Moxley. Or if you're going to give it to another rising young star, which that is actually the route they should go. But
yeah, I think almost like they should just aim for All In with Mox and Ospreay, in my opinion.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah. If you need to put it on someone like that.
Yes, I love Daniel Bryan, and I would love to see that. Or, maybe Daniel Bryan, like, is the big reason as to why Ospreay wins, or something happens like that. And then Mox and Daniel Bryan can feud, like, with the limited dates that Daniel Bryan wants to work. And then, they could do something like that. I mean, it's always good to have more than one marquee. But, yeah, and another thing I was trying to, like, think about, okay, what do I really feel about Revolution? I like the pay-per-view overall a lot, but, like, all those blow-offs, I was like, you should be saving it to try to get, like, more than 12,000 people in that stadium. Like, you need to get, like, 20, 30,000 for it to look good.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I'm like, why wouldn't you wait and push the blow-off for Mariah May and Tony Storm then? And then push the blow-off for Fletcher and Ospreay in a cage for then. Like, I know we still are 3 months away, but they need they need momentum from storylines, unless they start really good storylines now, which, okay, like, we got 3 months to do it, and they have Dynasty that they have to do before.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, your blow-off feud should have been at All In. Like, that should have been, you're trying to, like, sell that place out, which you won't, but you're trying to make it look like a stadium.
That's why now they really need to focus on the Death Riders and Moxley and whoever's going to take him out. Like, it needs to be at All In. That's where it needs to happen.
Yeah, and just start pushing. Like, obviously, Swerve is just another guy they're going to feed to him in Dynasty.
Because I just feel like, man, how many have they announced? How many? I know we're 3 months away. How many tickets have sold? Have they? Is there numbers around?
Last I saw was like 12,000, and it's been slow because, like, I think when they did that, the soft launch and all that stuff, and then the hard launch, they sold 10, and then it just stalled, and then it hasn't. Like, it's only been like 12 right now. So, like, they're going to be lucky, in my opinion, to get to 20. With papering it and everything like that,
though, because that's a huge stadium. Like,
they're gonna have to put it. They won't be able to do the overshot, drones, because obviously they're gonna show like 70% of the arena empties. But they can make it look okay. Like, because I think if you look up on YouTube, WWF WrestleFest 88, where they did the Milwaukee baseball stadium, and it was Hogan and Andre in the cage and all that. They had 24,000. That was just a house show, and they put 24,000 people in there, and they made it look good, like, with the way they shot it and everything like that. So it's possible. It's just, I'd rather not them have to be so limited, with their camera shots, because you only put 20,000 people in that big place. Or what my biggest like frightening thing that they're probably going to do is, if they only sell like 15,000, they're going to change venues and bring it into like and bring it into an actual arena, which will look sold out. Like,
I don't know why he would have, like, when he knows that they can't even sell out Dynamites unless they go to a small, like, little arena. I don't know why they thought, like, hey, this will be a good idea. Like, because and then what if they do have to change it? Because
that got him into trouble in Australia. It was supposed to be a bigger stadium, and then they ended up
lose situation right now, because if they don't sell out and they stay in that arena, that's going to be a bad look. If they
and that's all the reports are going to say. And then if you have to change venue like a month before, then you're going to piss off all the people that paid like floor seat stadium prices. And then he didn't give any refunds back for the Australia. And so, like, then you're going to piss your United States like audience off, which you shouldn't.
That's why I was saying about like the ring, like, even though like it wasn't an important thing, like if the plan was for them to, like, which it sounds like that was a plan, and that sounds like, a fair plan to, like, hey, we're not going to bring a ring over, we're just going to utilize.
Which WWF I think didn't do it either. Like, they used to rent the local stuff.
The thing is, when you have all those surrounding stories, like no one getting refunds, no communication, taking away signs from fans, and then you have that ring, that is just the visual of this is a shit show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
for
like
the
what it just all
optics of
adds
it.
up. It
Yeah,
just piles on
it's the
itself at that
optics, and
point.
that's what people don't understand. It's like it's the optics of everything, and the reports from the fans, because the fans were very unhappy, and rightfully so. Yeah, they got a good good matches on the card and stuff, but like it just
But
doesn't.
yeah, if
It's
I
not a
paid
good look.
for stadium floor seats and then I got a diagonal auditorium seat,
Yeah.
and it's not the same, and then people kept standing up in front of me and blocking my view, I'd be like, dude, I paid like, $500 for
No,
floor
for
seats, but
sure.
I got the equivalent of a $100 seat in an auditorium. It's
Yeah,
like
for
that's
sure.
yeah, he's gonna piss so many people off.
Oh
So
yeah,
or
most definitely.
or they need to go crazy and just start, giving away more tickets than they've ever given in their life. Like, or drop it off like they're $10. You want the upper bowl, $10. Like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of that they're gonna do like a month out to really like fight hard, like to try to get as many sold. It's just like, all right, like $10, $10.
Because if you
Just
had to
come in,
think
please.
about it, what's now that they did the
$10
payoff?
in an empty Coke can. Like, please, like, do something for us.
What's like, because now that they had that payoff with Mariah May and Tony Storm, it's like, what other than like maybe the possibility of someone rising up to Moxley, what do they have going? Convince people, hey, we
Yeah,
should
they
go with
have
this.
like they just started the Hurt Syndicate and something with MJF, which I'm interested in
That
that,
yeah,
but I
that's
don't know
interesting.
what that means or what that's going to do. I don't know what that's going to lead to. If it doesn't lead to anyone getting their character developed, it's going to suck, or it's just going to be
You know,
another thing that they do.
they're trying to beat WWE to the punch of Finn and Street Profits having their faction going. That's what they're trying to
Yeah,
do.
like a little, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I would want MJF in a faction. Like, I think to
he
me
needs
they're
something
teasing
different
it.
though.
Yeah, he does. But the problem is like the fans are cheering Hurt Syndicate. So if they're going to come in here and try to make MVP the heel, it's not going to work. Like, but
Yeah,
people do want to cheer for MJF. Like when he came out this last Wednesday, like people, the place popped for him. They like him. They don't want to see him as a heel because he's giving us nothing new. Like if he turns face, from the like declining the Hurt Syndicate's deal, I'm
yeah,
fine with that. Like
yeah.
he's a good face, and I don't know how he didn't feel that way when he did that little run with Adam Cole. I mean, I know it fell apart, the storyline sucked, but that was injuries and everything else, like God knows, and
Yeah.
Punk leaving before that and everything was just a nightmare. But I mean, like they didn't like, and MJF was hurt and injured and trying to just make things work out.
Fucking Jim Cornette.
Yeah, I just yeah, Jim.
How he's playing video games.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, they have all the tools in the world, and that's why I think they're better than WCW 2000. In WCW 2000, like
Yeah,
they were shoving people that had no TV time and had no business because all the big stars that were under big contracts had huge downside guarantees. So when they'd stub their toe, they're like, "Yeah, I'm not." Or if they got to the arena and they're like, "I'm losing to who?" "Yeah, I got to go. I don't feel so good." And so with AEW, it's different. You have a lot of stars still. They have a lot of marquee names. They just got to figure out how to start attracting people. It's
hey,
from the ground up. It's not going to happen overnight, man. Like they're
strap the rocket to Adam Copeland, have him go red and yellow, have him just totally be brother, and
just
try to do
big boot and leg drop
Copemania.
everybody.
Yeah, do Copemania and see if that runs wild and see if they can get far with it.
They just have and they have the WWE guys in there. Moxley, Cope, like Christian. They aren't using them right anymore. It's weird. Like it's this odd thing.
It's hard to compete when you have like this is cool for anyone who's maybe not watched wrestling for the last couple of years ago, but WWE actually shared they uploaded the whole history of that storyline alone
Of what?
of the bloodline. Do you
Oh,
see it
see,
right here?
yeah, and then they even have it on a Peacock.
Yeah, on Peacock.
They have it's like a little
The
icon where
little
it just says like
stories.
the bloodline history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like right here.
I acknowledge you as my
We're
tribal chief.
But this is off WWE.com, so credit to WWE. Don't fucking strike us or anything. But yeah, the fact that they have stuff like this on here, like this storyline alone, like AEW needs something. And that's what I was hoping for. Like maybe the Death Rider stuff was gonna kind of, obviously you don't want to straight up copy it because then people are just like it's just a Bloodline ripoff. But like you need something like this, a storyline like this. This is what you really need. And unfortunately, you would have needed this like for the last year or two going on in AEW for them to have a chance to, even sell like half of the tickets they need for that all in. And they just don't have
we
it
saw it
anymore.
with even the WCW was building steam in '96 anyway with the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
You saw what happens when you capture lightning in a bottle, like with the NWO. It just instantly explodes.
Why don't they take advantage of that? Why don't they take advantage of the fact that WWE does not do good with the cruiserweight division? Why I don't understand why like they don't just of all the belts they have in AEW.
Well,
think,
I thought about that too. The reason why is then the entire company would be cruiserweights except for like Bobby Lashley.
I mean that
like,
is true. That is true.
like honestly, like everyone is a cruiserweight in that company. They would almost have to make it like I guess just call it a light heavyweight, or even then, they're all light heavyweights for the most part. Like Daniel Garcia, like oh my God, what's his face? Even Roderick Strong, super small, and
I mean, all the Undisputed Era, they are,
the whole Undisputed Era is cruiserweight.
That's why I always say it, like with Finn Balor. That's why I'm like, man, like missed opportunities with him. I mean, they tried with the Universal title, but he got injured. But like Finn Balor, when he was in New Japan, that's why I always am happy when he's in a faction, because I'm that they're trying to recreate something like that. Finn Balor was so cool. Prince Devitt, he was so cool in New Japan.
He was awesome, yeah.
And Bullet Club, it was cool. Like everyone wanted to be a part of that, and he started that with Carl Anderson and oh God, Bad Falu. God, that's not his name. It's Bad Falu. But even though he was smaller than everybody, he was still that cool leader. He was the real rock and roll, and all that shit. And I always felt like, man, like, even though like it has a bad stigma because it's Cruiserweight or 205 Live, I'm like, you should have strapped that onto Finn, and you should have had him like in that role, because he made the junior light heavyweight champion in New Japan feel like the IWGP. Like he made it feel important.
Yeah, like it
was
very
prestigious. So it's like, I don't know why you could do that. And like AEW, it's like you have the chance. Well, I guess like the point is everyone there would be a cruiserweight. But if you had something like that,
but you don't have to like. Benoit, like in WCW, never fought for the cruiserweight title, but he was always but he was easily a cruiserweight. Chris Benoit especially back then.
Yeah,
it's really weird. Like, so you could do it if AEW just structured themselves differently. They could eliminate the AEW International crap title and all those other belts, and just keep the World Heavyweight title, the TNT Championship, and then figure out, maybe not call it a cruiserweight, but figure it out. Like call it a junior welterweight, anything, like to figure something out, and then just segregate those people. And then that's also a reason maybe to watch Collision. You only have it on Collision, or you only have it on Dynamite, and then it starts off the show. How many great,
weren't they going to have a brand?
How many great fucking Nitros did we watch? Like where they started off with the Cruiserweight or the Luchas, and like it just tears the house down right away.
That's what I'm saying.
You capture your audience in the first 10 minutes that they tune in.
And they could do something like that. They should do something like that. I think both. I mean, like I do miss a good Cruiserweight division. WWE has so many, like, they have a wide spectrum of heavyweights and cruiserweights that they totally could do it. I wish Triple H would try one more time, just since he's in charge now, and him and Shawn Michaels are in charge of both different brands. I wish they would give it another shot and do something like that and make it something
at least just, or bring it into NXT and just let it be there for a bit, and then if it does well in NXT, like they can revise that division and bring it up to the main roster.
NXT is stacked now. Like that roster is just stacked with.
Or Evolve, put that put that on Evolve.
I assume they're going to have an Evolve championship eventually. So I'm looking forward to that. But speaking of Tony Khan, so this Triple H thoughts right here. This is the page. He had Grok roast Tony Khan, and it's fucking fun. Look at what it says. This is Grok roasting Tony Khan. All right, let's take a swing at Tony Khan, the Wrestling World resident trust fund kid with a passion for booking matches like he's playing WWE 2K on easy mode. This guy's got money from that sense, running all elite wrestling like it's a vanity project fueled by his dad's checkbook and a dangerous cocktail of Red Bull and delusion. He's
at least they didn't.
This is AI roast. He's out here tweeting like a 14-year-old fanboy who just discovered the internet, hyping every show as the greatest night in wrestling history. Bro, calm down. It's just a Wednesday. Today, Tony's got the charisma of a wet sock and the business acumen of a guy who thinks ratings are just hugs from his mom. He signed half the wrestling world of AEW, yet somehow the shows feel like a chaotic indie card where everyone else gets a turn, but nobody knows why. He's the type to call himself a genius for putting together a match that sounds cool on paper, like a dream match between two guys who peaked in 2012, but then it ends up a 20-minute spot fest with no story and a screwy finish. And let's talk about his wardrobe. My man dresses like he's perpetually late for a Zoom call with his accountant. That scarf isn't fooling anyone. Tony, you're not a mysterious otter. You're just a dude who thinks disheveled millionaire is a vibe. Stick to buying sports teams and let someone else steer the ship before AEW becomes the wrestling equivalent of a midlife crisis. That was Grok, the AI that fucking... I actually didn't read this whole... I only read like the first... And I was like, I'm not going to read it until we're on the air.
That's pretty spot on.
Pretty fucking funny, though. It's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure it's grabbing it from everyone's disses and stuff, but it's fucking funny the way it put it out like that.
Yeah.
It's actually hilarious.
So I put it out. And that's... I don't even know what the backstage is there. I have no idea. Like... obviously, the Young Bucks are gone. I mean, that doesn't mean they're silent in the back, but they're gone. And
like how I was saying about like Sean.
Are the EVPs even a thing anymore? I don't even know what they did. I don't even know what they did.
That was my whole point. Like with when Sean Ross and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but the difference is why I don't believe that is when you at least now, like, not AEW, it doesn't seem as bad maybe, but like last year and the last few years, it kind of translated on screen, like the unorganized, the messiness backstage. It kind of seemed like people were just kind of not knowing what, like how that fucking says, like, people are doing spots but they don't know why they're there. It kind of felt like that on screen versus where you're hearing these supposed reports from, people like John Ross, Sappy Boy, and the Melts, and I'm like, but that's not translating on screen. It seems like everyone is a pro. It seems like everyone is in their shit. Everyone is, working together. It seems more structured on TV. So the comparison is what I go by. I'm like, it on AEW, when you stuff that's happening backstage, like I said, not lately maybe, but like during those times, it actually appeared on screen like there was no dissent in the backstage.
Yeah, you kind of saw it.
See it on screen. That's why I'm like, when I hear this stuff, and it's like, and then actually Chelsea Green was pushing back against some of the stuff that they were reporting about, like the whole Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler backstage thing that Meltzer.
Oh yeah, I heard about. Yeah, that's right.
Even Chelsea's like, it's people like you. Oh, because someone said stop starting shit back. Because I guess people are assuming Chelsea is the one that's like leaking this stuff, and she basically said something like, actually, I think I have a little Chelsea Green like appreciation.
I remember I saw a tweet snapshot or something like that of her pushing back.
Yeah, well, so yeah, basically she was saying it's trolls like you with spreading your misinformation of stuff that's not true. Chelsea Green, by the way, is great. She is rising.
She's awesome.
Fast in WWE. I mean, she's already like, look at this. This is fucking hilarious right here.
She's been. I mean, she was good for a long time, and then
she was.
Her and Matt Cardona when they went indie. Like, that was the best thing for him. It's always the best thing. Like, it's always the best thing.
But you could tell, like, she's perfect in WWE. Like, she's that, whatever you want to say, sports entertainment. She is that, and she's
she's over the top. Like,
she's gonna face Sol Ruca this Tuesday for the United.
You know what I really was bummed about thinking the other day, and maybe I saw a meme, and that's what reminded me, is I wish that the Iconics were still there with Chelsea Green. How funny the three of them would be. They would just be the funniest faction on the planet.
They would be great, dude. Like and they were good, and I think they just came back because I think they were like not wrestling for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they both had children, like, and separate, like, and one of them I think had two.
Peyton, she's married to Sean Spears in NXT right now, and he's getting love too. He has a new faction. It's called the Coaling, and he just beat Tony D'Angelo for the North American title in NXT. So now he's got gold in NXT, and he's leading a faction. And Chelsea's got gold. I'm loving that. Like I said, Tuesday. Have you watched Sol Ruca at all?
No, I haven't. Just clips. I have not. Like,
you've seen her.
I need to watch. I need to watch NXT more.
You've seen her finisher, the Soul Snatcher.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's awesome. She's gonna, man, when she gets to the main roster, this match is gonna be a banger on Tuesday. So I'm looking forward to that. Chelsea Green, she's been great, but like NXT,
she's super awesome.
Gonna be great. What is it? Oh, Samantha Irving. Oh, God, so you can't.
I can't hear it now.
That's so weird. I wonder why.
Her whole departure was weird.
Yeah.
But if you listen to her interviews, because people just want to attack her and just try to accuse her of being a traitor or whatever for just walking out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, she said it very clear. She's like, no. Like, I'm glad that everyone liked me as an announcer and all that stuff. But she's like, I never wanted to be that. I wanted to be a character. I wanted to be a wrestler. Yeah, she wanted to be a wrestler or a manager, anything. She was begging them to do anything, and they're like, well, why don't you try announcing? And then she was good at it. And I know, like, in today's day and age, when we see something good, we're like, oh, that's the greatest of all time. But honestly, like, in all my years, and maybe this is controversial, of course, the Fink shares a special place because I grew up with Howard Finkel and even Gary Michael Capetta on the other side and everything. But she's up there with the top, like, announcers I've ever heard. Like, she just made it. She made it her own. And
she made it her own. Yep.
She made it her own. And I mean, how right in your face is that? Like, oh, like, as I introduce them, I'm going to use like their cadence introducing their name, like Chelsea Green, like, was just super smart. I know some people, but everyone's going to hate, but everything. And then Gunther, the way she says Gunther, like, she says it like she's standing at attention, and she just created like this new way of announcing. And I don't think people realize how groundbreaking that was. I think she really deserves it, but people just feel like she's not grateful, which if you ever actually listen to an interview with her, she is grateful. She was just like, just like anybody else who has goals in their life at their job. I wanted to be an on-screen performer, not an announcer. Yeah. I just got put in there. And then when they went to renew her, they're like, you're the greatest announcer. And she's like, but I don't want to do that. And people just can't fathom, you have this stable job and you're announcing every week. And, when she cried when Cody was champion and she announced him while she was crying,
that was one of the
just
best right
you can't recreate that stuff. And she's so great. And I wish she would come back and do that again. But if you don't want to, then that's fine. Like that. She wants to do something else. Like she wants to be a performer, like you said, a wrestler, or maybe she'll be a manager or whatever. Like I would love to see her with how good Ricochet's doing. And she seems that she's super creative. I'd love to see her be like Ricochet's like manager. Like
just join up with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just join up with them. Why not? Like I bet they'd be funny together and like do funny things. And like,
speaking of Ricochet, he is getting a little, this spot right here.
Was this from? It was from Collision.
Yeah, I watched it too. I was like, okay, I don't know why they're sharing this as if it was great right here. Look at.
And I don't know why every time they get someone from New Japan that they have to do a punch off, a slap off, or you know what I mean, a chop off. I don't know why. Like it started in New Japan, I'm assuming, and then now they're just bringing it over, and they do it all the time. Like
yeah, once again, it's like they keep doing that stuff. Like. You don't need to do. That's why it's like in every match, you don't have to have a high spot. Not everyone has to do a suicide dive, suicida plancha. Not everyone has to always do a swanton over the top rope, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, but all brands are responsible for this. But yeah, it's I hate when they keep doing the same. That's why like I think we were talking about in the text or something. I hate knowing Io is in a match. There's trash cans involved in a cage because I already know she's gonna top.
She's gonna put it on her head.
Like it's you're supposed to like that should only be used every once in a while. It should
WrestleMania. It should be used WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and that's it.
It shouldn't be expected. Like I shouldn't like expect knowing like there's a cage match. Io's on in that cage match. It's weapons in the she's gonna do a moonsault.
She's gonna put a trash can on her head. Yeah.
I don't like when it's predictable like that. And then this right here, this like pissed me off because I'm like, if I was watching Collision live, I would have stopped watching it.
Wait a second.
This segment right here. I'm not doing this to pick on AEW, but like it's just
I walked out. Yeah, I walked out of the room not because I knew it was going to be this bad, but I just ended up walking out of the room when I was watching because I was watching it live too, and I just started seeing people like shit on it on the internet.
To me, this is what Vince would have done. This is something Vince. You're taking away from a match that's going on just to. This could have been after, like, the match. This could have been after the match.
Yeah, why did we have to do this with the match going on? There were so many times where, like, good matches were going on Raw, and then they're like, oh, what's going on in the back? I'm like, I don't care. I'm watching wrestling.
And I got to give our boy over at Wrestle Days, because he shared our post twice on his
he did.
One of his recent
He's on
videos.
fire.
So go check out his unseen videos. Get that name from, bud. Unseen, unscripted. No, but yeah, we got to give that guy a shout out because he's been giving us love. He's actually been giving the podcast some love. So.
Finally, the only smart person out there is that guy.
Literally the only smart person. I mean, and then anyone that's watching, we got 3 views on looks like Twitch, I think, and we have 2 on Rumble. I don't know about on YouTube, but a pretty good episode of.
What am I seeing on YouTube? Huh? Yeah, 2 on YouTube as well.
There you go. Nice.
So I'm one of them.
Oh shoot! You know what? I am on YouTube right there. I'm not on Rumble. Whoops.
So it's you and I, so nobody.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is our our surprise. We pop up every now and then. It's not. We're just getting used to this. We're just figuring this out.
Yeah, we got 1 view on Rumble right now. Usually on Rumble, when I'm streaming on Rumble, I have like 8 people watching, like at once. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was an episode of Cup of Coffee, guys. As we say when the streams end, usually is the stream is over.